Yesterday, we started to explore the second factor of right effort to abandon the arisen unwholesome states. We went through a general remedy for each of the 5 hindrances. For expelling distracting thoughts, the first one is to use the exact opposite of the thoughts. So what does that mean? When the thoughts of desire arise, we use the thought of renunciation to counter. When the thoughts of ill will arise, we use the thoughts of loving kindness. If the hindrances are getting too strong, here the text recommends, Bhikkhu Bodhi recommends, it is best to gain some familiarity with it by making that a primary object of the meditation to counter the specific hindrance. Today, we will dive deeper into these 5 hindrances and the remedy for each of these 5. For desire, a remedy of general application is the meditation on impermanence, which knocks away the underlying prop of clinging, the implicit assumption that the objects clung to are stable and durable. For desire in the specific form of sensual lust, the most potent antidote is the contemplation of the unattractive nature of the body to be dealt with at greater length in the next chapter, Right Mindfulness. Ill will meets its proper remedy in the meditation on loving kindness, which was what Sai Kiang suggested yesterday at the very last part, which banishes all traces of hatred through the methodical radiation of the altruistic wish that all beings be well and happy. The dispelling of dullness and drowsiness calls for a special effort to arouse energy, for which several methods are suggested. The visualization of a brilliant ball of light, in the Buddha's context, there were probably in the night, there were not much lights because there were no electricity. So that's why the Buddha recommends to visualize the light instead. But in today's context, we can probably directly look at the light, just to make the light to keep us more awake. Getting up and doing a period of brisk walking meditation, reflection on death, or simply making a firm determination to continue striving. Restlessness and worry are most effectively countered by turning the mind to a simple object that tends to calm it down. The method usually recommended is mindfulness of breathing, attention to the in and out flow of the breath. In the case of doubt, the special remedy is investigation. To make inquiries, ask questions, and study the teachings until the obscure points become clear. Let's explore again this paragraph a little bit more deeply. For the first line, if you attend the Heart Sutra class, This does remind you of emptiness, doesn't it? The implicit assumption that the objects clung to are stable and durable. Yeah, this line we can skip because we will deal again at greater length in the next chapter. But essentially, what this line means that if you are infatuated with someone because of the physical attractiveness, you can examine the nature of the body by dissecting the body to a specific part. Let's say, take the eyeballs, put on the table. Then you can see, are the eyes as beautiful on the table compared to the eyes on the person? Or when you see the eyes on the person, oh, what a sparkling, beautiful eyes. When you put on the table, oh no, what is this? Separate the hair, the hair in the person, a nice, flowing, beautiful brown hair. But when you see a lot of hairs in the drain of the shower, it's like, oh no, so disgusting. Especially, I think those who live with ladies, you will see a lot of hairs in the, not just in the drain, but everywhere around the house. And then you have to vacuum it up. Yeah, but we will go into much greater details in the next chapter. This is just an overview. Ill will meets its proper remedy in the meditation of loving kindness. This one has been elaborated much earlier. If you wish to review, you can go back to the second factor of the Noble Eightfold Path, right intention. Just very briefly. Here, chapter 3, right intention. And then there is this part, the intention of goodwill. So the meditation on loving kindness is dealt at greater length and in this whole section, if you're interested to read again. Let's go back to that paragraph again. Here. This is how to counter ill will. Now, this one is probably the one that affects a lot of people. Dullness and drowsiness. Several methods are suggested. Visualization of a brilliant ball of light, getting up and doing walking meditation, reflection on death, or just making a firm determination. But today I would like to explore in a greater details. And if you notice this tab, the 5 mental hindrances has been there for some time. So I wanted to explore this in a much deeper detail. In this text, it does takes references from the sutta and then lays it out. So it is a much more detailed treatment of the 5 hindrances. The 5 mental hindrances and their conquest, selected text from Pali Canon, also the commentaries by Nyaya Ponika Thera. Let's go to the third one, Sloth and Topper. The one that I would like to cover, firstly, all of these are good. All of these texts are good, but I want to focus specifically this one. Firstly, 6 things are conducive to abandonment of sloth and torpor, knowing that overeating is a cause of it. Sometimes if you notice yourself eating too much, and afterwards you really feel like so heavy inside the head, Have you ever felt that way? I think I told you before, especially after I go to buffet. Wow, I have to make my money worth. I have to eat all the stuff. And then afterwards, so heavy. Really want to sleep. That's one. Changing the bodily posture. Yeah, this one is talking specifically to meditation. So probably your posture is a little bit too, like if you're in chair, probably you're leaning backwards. Or if you're not sitting in the chair, probably your posture is like, bent. Yeah. So try to check your posture. Thinking of the perception of light, or you can directly take a look at the light. But in meditation, probably you should still stay still and just visualize the light. Yeah. And this is also why Shifu usually doesn't recommend to turn off the light when meditation. But I know some centers like to turn off the light when meditating. Yeah. Staying in the open air, noble friendship, suitable conversation. Yeah. I'm not sure how exactly these two factors counter Sloth and Topper, but it's listed here. These are other things that's helpful. Recollection of death, perceiving the suffering and impermanence. Sympathetic joy, contemplation of the spiritual journey. Let's see. Actually, I like this line. In a monk who is accustomed to see the suffering and impermanence and who is frequently engaged in this contemplation, there will be established in him such a keen sense of danger, of laziness, idleness, lassitude, indolence, and thoughtlessness, as if he were threatened by a murderer with a drawn sword. Let's take a look at what lassitude means. A state of physical or mental weariness, lack of energy. Okay, sympathetic joy, contemplation of the spiritual journey, contemplation on the master's greatness, contemplation of the greatness of the heritage, how to stimulate the mind. Here it listed down contemplation of 8 objects: birth, decay, disease, and death, the suffering of the worlds, suffering of the past rooted in round of existence, the suffering of the future rooted in the round of existence, suffering of the present rooted in the search for food. In the Buddha's time, in the search for food was not that as easy as our time. So this is why it's listed here. This one is also one of my favorite. How to overcome sleepiness. Once these other ones spoke to the Venerable Mahamoggallana, thus, are you drowsy, Moggallana? Are you drowsy, Moggallana? Yes, Venerable Sir. This is interesting to me because Venerable Mahamoggallana is one of the chief disciples of the Buddha. And if Venerable Mahamoggallana can also get drowsy, so don't beat ourselves too much if we get drowsy sometimes. The first one that the Buddha recommends, well then, Moggallana, at whatever thought torpor has befallen you, to that thought you should not give attention, you should not dwell on it frequently. Then it is possible that by doing so, torpor will disappear. But the Buddha says, if by doing so, the torpor does not disappear, you should think and reflect within your mind about the Dhamma as you have heard and learned it, and you should mentally review it. Then it is possible by so doing, torpor will disappear. The third one, okay, I'm going to skip the repetitive part. If it doesn't disappear, you should also learn by heart the Dharma in its fullness, as you have heard and learned it. The fourth one, if it still does not disappear, you should shake your ears, rub your limbs with the palm of your hand. Yeah, this is the one that we usually do after the meditation. This number 4. If it still doesn't disappear, get up, wash your eyes with water, and then look around in all directions and look upwards to the stars in the sky. This one, if you, when I was like in primary school, when I get sleepy in the class, and the teacher will, Marcel, go to the washroom, wash your face. I'm not sure if she was inspired by this sutta. Probably not. Number 6, establish inner perception of like. As it is by day, so also by night. As it is by night, so also by day. With a mind clear and unobstructed, you should develop a consciousness which is full of brightness. If it still does not disappear, you should, conscious of that, which is before and behind, walk up and down with your senses turned inwards, with your mind not going outwards. The last part, finally, if it still does not disappear, you may lie down, taking out the lion's posture, covering foot with foot. Mindful, clearly conscious, keeping in mind the thought of rising, the thought of waking up. Having awakened again, you should quickly rise. This is important. Thinking, I won't indulge in the enjoyment of lying down, reclining, in the enjoyment of sleep. Which is, I have to admit, I do this a lot. I love to indulge in my bed, and it's also sometimes difficult to wake up because it's too comfortable. The sutta ends with, thus, Moggallana, you should train yourself. This is taken from Anguttara Nikaya, 758. I would like to cover this as well, but we only have 2 minutes left. So why not we take some time to see if there's any comments or questions, and I will cover that one tomorrow. Anyone would like to comment? Drowsiness and dullness. Any specific part that probably I gloss over? Yes, second.
Maybe I share my personal experience. So previously, when I was working, I will set my alarm, and then when the alarm rings, I will snooze it 5 minutes. So 5 more minutes, I lie down in bed happily. After 5 minutes, the alarm ring again. I will snooze it. So I have this very bad habit of setting like half an hour before I wake up. Then my mind knows that I have half an hour. Then I will snooze and snooze and snooze until the actual time comes, you know. There was I raised this question to Shifu before, to say how do I overcome this, you know, laziness, always wanting to sleep and unable to wake up. So Shifu taught me one method which is very useful, and I'm still using it now. That means when the alarm rings, in the first place, I don't put snooze anymore. When the alarm rings, I have to sit up immediately. Even when my eyes cannot open, I just sit up instead of still lying down. So I sit up. Then after you sit up, you put your leg down, you know. Yeah, so you basically you sit up. So in that way, it is easier for you to get up rather than going back to sleep. Yeah. So that is my personal experience. And yeah, nowadays still practicing it. That means whenever the alarm comes, off it and sit up.
Does it work well for you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Because you are telling about the comfort of the bed, right? Even the bed is not comfortable, you will still want to lie down. Even it's a wooden, sometimes I have this habit, I said, I cannot wake up already, right? Then I will not lie down, but I sort of like forward myself, in an awkward position. You still will fall asleep. I mean, you will still want to sleep because of the mind, actually. Yeah.
Yes. The snooze portion, I feel it's relatable, and I still do that actually. So maybe I would try the technique that you just mentioned, the technique suggested by Shifu, and we will see how it will work for me as well. How about others? Do you guys have the habits of snoozing?
That's right.
Yes, second, yes.
Yeah, I do by afternoon after lunch. I usually feel very sleepy. Then what I did is I will tell myself I will just lie down for 15 minutes. So do like sleeping meditation or lying down meditation, what you call. And I always tell my mind just 15 minutes. And I do wake up by myself. But usually I don't actually sleep. I'm aware that I'm lying down. I just close my eye and rest my body. That's all. Relax. Then I get up. I feel a bit more refreshed, and then I continue what I'm doing. Yeah, that's my way of doing it.
That's very good. Yes. Afternoon naps, not too long. Don't be too long. If it's too long, you will not be able to sleep at night. Around 15 minutes to 20 minutes is probably just right. Well, thanks for sharing that, Chaikwan. Taking afternoon naps. But also don't forget, most importantly, you should have adequate hours of sleep at night as well. If not, no matter what you do, if you only have like 1 hour of sleep, usually it does affect my whole day. I will be really lethargic if I don't sleep. So thanks for sharing, Saiki and Chaikwan. How about others? I see Jolene nodding her head when it says about snoozing. Does others don't use the snooze button? Every time you see the alarm, immediately wake up, meditate. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. But although I don't put the snooze button, I did exactly what Sister Saiken did. I go back to my bed. And I was hoping through my own mind discipline, I could get up.
And then what happens?
Then during that period of between getting up the second time, it was a struggling process. My mind is always debating, get up now, take a little bit of sleep. Get up now, take a bit of sleep. It was like a mind fighting between me and somebody else. And that's the time I'm stuck to do a lot of self-talking time. And it'll be a time where I said, hey, you were tired yesterday, rest a little bit more. And then another side of you say, get up now. You have a meditation to do now. Then another mind to tell you, go and sleep. It's a lazy mind thinking. Another mind wakening yourself up. So there was a struggle, between my mind. I can really see it talking to each other all the time, talking, so busy talking. And then whichever that day that has a bigger determination wins. Not every day is the same answer. I have to say that. So yeah. So I have my share of laziness and struggling to get up, especially certain time of the day that I need to, get my to wake up to do the meditation, to do, some of the practices. So yes. Yeah. Definitely very relatable.
Yeah, it's so relatable, isn't it? Like, maybe I just skip today and join tomorrow.
Yes.
And then tomorrow you have the same thought. And then every day you have the same thoughts.
Yes.
And then that's why probably some people just drop off. I've never seen some people.
So what's so useful here is when we know a group of you who are here, that is very motivating. Really, really, really. I can't say it even more. How motivating that is, thinking that, oh no, that is a group of your friends doing it. You can do it too. That is so powerful. There was something to pull you out. That's what Dhamma, Sangha, so make a big difference, you know. Yeah, I think that's the very important to know that. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
So that is the noble friendship that that
Yeah.
statement refers to. 亲近善知识. Yeah, noble friendship.
That's true. It's very true.
Hey, Marcel,
Yes, correct.
because I don't read that Bhikkhu Bodhi, the book. I haven't read yet. But then my knowledge is from the past that I learned. But then I'm still waiting for the book to read.
Yeah. Sorry, I will send it by today. Today I will go to the. Yeah. I'll take this offline. I will let you know again.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thanks, Craig. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions before we wrap up for today? If you have, or maybe if you're still thinking about it, you can also share it tomorrow. You can share it any day actually. But sorry for going a little bit over time. Let's do a dedication. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，普愿罪障悉消除，实是常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a non-lazy day ahead. Thanks everyone. I'll see you guys again next time.
Thank you, everybody.
Brother, thank you, sister.
加油。
Thank you.